crops and we make ready for winter. The city is likewise preparing for the future with their, we hope that the citizens will support us in our endeavor to approve additional sales taxes for public safety department and for the senior citizens. Be with us in all that we do. Let our minds be clear and free to make decisions that will be in the best interest of our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Package, you got the regular meeting minutes from the 6th. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any reports, public safety?
I don't believe I really have anything under public safety at this time.
I just need a sales tax increase, huh?
But we all need that.
Okay. Street? You know our street?
We haven't had a meeting since the last council meeting, the street committee meeting, so give an update.
Vargas edition looks good, sir.
Okay, from finance, I haven't really looked over the income information here. We just got out of another meeting. But from a finance point of view, the Public Safety Committee has asked that we appropriate up to $10,000 for improvements in the police department with their office furniture and whatever. They don't have all the details yet, but to expedite the matter going on down the road, I'd like to recommend that we move $10,000 out of our capital improvement fund and make it accessible to the Public Safety Committee when they approve the furniture and stuff that they want to buy.
Second time.
Motion second, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. The dog pound, the man that has been authorized to build it has been in touch with him. Apparently he has a major project that he's working on in Arkansas. I talked to him just one day last week and he said, I'll be there just as quick as I can. So. Or the other, I'll reserve the right to come back to finance once I get a chance to scan these documents if there's anything that's questionable.
Well, on the finance end, I did put a sales tax 1 and 2 recap each of your chairs. Unfortunately, in the first 3 months of this fiscal year, the trend is downward. I was surprised, but the numbers extend that out for 12 months, so it's going to be down. So. Chambers not represented, human resources, what those are out. Food department reports.
Been busy preparing. Asphalt company came back to town today. So we've been working the last week trying to get ready for them. The second contractor's coming in next week, so we're trying to work in front of them too. And the street contractor's still here, so for overlap, possibly for a day or two, we'll have 3 contractors here unless the asphalt people finish up possibly Friday. So, you know, it's all winding down, but we're not done, but there's a lot going on right now.
How far is the sidewalks going to go down in Independence?
I think they're going as far as they're going to go, I think.
Yeah, it looks like they turned around and come back down later.
I was told somewhere in the neighborhood of Blair Street, which is the way it was explained to me. they're exactly there or not, but getting close to it.
I did have one person ask me if I was going all the way to Holcomb with me.
That would be nice.
I don't think so.
I don't think I told him that's outside the city limit.
Couple of things. And I think we mentioned this last time, but just want to once again bring forth the activity that took place, police department on 9th Street. We've had a lot of good comments. A lot of people on there said they've started to see kids return back to the park. And several officers are being commended for their extra work they've done in preparing all that, and the entire law enforcement community for the support they gave to our department in executing those warrants. So it's not ended. There's others to be had, and there's ongoing. We had a lot of people in the beginning wondering why stuff wasn't happening. An investigation takes time. You have to dot those I's, cross those T's, to make sure that when you go for those warrants, you're going to get the warrants, so that when you get the perpetrator, you're going to have a good case in court. So it's an ongoing process. Speeding on 412, we've noticed they haven't yet put the speed limit signs up on 412, and had a lot of people, and if you've been down there, it looks like an interstate. And so there is some speed enforcement, and just to be fair to the public out there, need to be mindful that 70 mile an hour is not the speed limit down to 412. They should be getting those speed limit signs up shortly.
Well, they got something that says 45 miles an hour.
Well, they've probably been putting them up there. I haven't been down that way today, but 45 is the speed limit down through there, and they've been stopping some that's been doing about 70. It's nice, smooth, and new, and it's inviting, but, you know, just, we'd rather see people obey the speed limit than to have to stop and either warn them or ticket them. So, the other thing, the arson awareness class, the fire department was contacted. Free class, bringing that in. It involves law enforcement and firefighters in a 2-day course this weekend. And thanks to Councilman Panasas, he let us park the big red tractor trailer down there on the what used to be the shelter workshop lot, where they actually go in there and set 3 rooms like a house up, and they set 3 fires in there, and then the students go in to investigate it and determine what evidence would be taken, what's the probable cause of a fire, and of course the instructor knows how the fire was started, so it can go back and see if they're getting close to it. The evidence they took would be good evidence and stuff like that. So Sunday especially, you may see some activity down there, but we have about 35 people coming in for that class. And you know, we're trying to bring in additional classes as they're offered free to us, for not just our local department, but we share it with the neighboring departments to better the whole area. So other than that, things been kind of on low keel. I mean, there's day-to-day still, you know, people have domestic problems on a day-to-day basis, it seems like, but for this, on the other part, like, things seem to be going on pretty good right now. Any questions?
Mr. Blount, would you explain this property maintenance report to the rest of the council?
Yeah, let me see, yeah, that's my packet, I sure can. On the property maintenance report, there's 2 sheets. The one, we'll break it down for this month, and tells you how many letters were written, and how many court cases, and how many violations were written, and it shows you what warrants. But property maintenance is for this fiscal year, from July up to now. And basically, you're going to have the name of the person that was cited, the address,
and what type of violation it was, and on what day were they contacted. And basically, a letter was sent to them, or they contacted them in person. And if there was a court date, the court date's written down. And if there's a court judgment, like the one, it shows there was a warrant issued with a bond, or it shows if they were fined, or if what court costs they were fined, and then there's a final status on there, what occurred as a final outcome of it. And you can see that as you go through here, you will probably see several people's names mentioned several times. But it's kind of a running report. And some people, as if you see their names several times and several addresses, it's probably not because they moved. It could be that they're the responsible party for the property. Anybody have any questions on it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, just a quick calculation there based on the sales tax income thus far for 3 months. Extending that out to 12 months, it comes up to about $174,000 shortfall. And that, of course, we had about 99,000 short for a fiscal year just completed, so that's gonna be $75,000 more in shortfall, so if that helps any of you guys in your discussion about the need for a sales tax, there's a pretty good indicator right there.
So 1% generating about 1.5 million, it's probably going closer to 1.3 million.
Thank you.
Boy,
Still working with Diane and the people from St. Louis. I did get an email there the other day, when they had a meeting to go over it before we showed you up. So I don't know what Diane said tonight, so. Maybe by the end of this month. Maybe, I mean.
It's good target.
But
Cleaning out the dishes, Diane's still working with Terry Ross, and we're trying to put a game plan together. So far, the county and the range districts have stepped up and offered any cash to clean the dishes out, but it's something that's gonna have to be done. It's so clogged up. We had one situation over here by the end of Quickest Street. The coverage in that ditch has gotten out big enough that's actually blocking Fuller Street, traffic coming from the north, so I was for sure about that, I almost got hit. The street was clear, and guy pops up around the corner, trees, anyway. Update on fire range,
I'm about as optimistic as Mr. Weatherwax is on his employee handbook. We've not heard anything negative, but we've not heard anything positive. Conservation Department continues to just say, it's in review and needs to be reviewed, and so we're just waiting.
they're probably still in all of your applications, they didn't get them like that.
Well, I hope so. Good shock.
Stormwater plan update, Vic is chairing the committee, and he came by and had some discussion today, and he will be putting out some information regarding this. The main thing, as I read it, is we've got to basically get the whole city involved. We need everybody, and every participant we can get in this thing to really make it work the way it's supposed to work. And, of course, it's an ongoing project. We've got some targets for 2016, which, talking to Rick, you're pretty optimistic we'll hit those. And then we'll have to start zeroing in on the next year's targets. Back to it. Would you like to?
We talked before, one report, or some wanted maps, some wanted others. I got one report. We can tear it all to pieces. I'll just briefly read a paragraph here and then answer any questions as necessary. And I'll do, on the reports, whatever y'all decide. I remember some was wanting, like the maps better, some like the literature better. I just need to get it down to wherever, whatever pleasurable for you folks to look at, so. All right, I'll read, on surveillance, we utilized 3 New Jersey mosquito traps, 2 gravity mosquito traps. That's the trap that catches the disease-type mosquitoes to try to keep up with the West Nile, etc. 1 control trap set outside the spray area to see what the difference would be in the population of mosquitoes and stuff and species, etc. New Jersey light traps were Falcon, Sarah, Preston, and these numbers are not going to mean much to you. 201.2 mosquitoes catching in a trap. That's actually, at that point I can actually call for the airplane, but what's bad is when you catch 700 or 1,000 or 1,500, that's when we have a high count. So at 200, we still got a lot of mosquitoes, but that's more acceptable than what we normally would have at that point at 1,000 or more. Okay, and of course that that varies. There's always variables involved. Like when we had the rain, we had rain, and then we have a day or 2 break, and then we had another week's worth of rain. And I ended up having to bring the aircraft in 3 different times during that period, and they were hatching off as quick as I was coming. But anyway, each break we had in between those rains, I brought the aircraft across the city to try to knock them back as quick as we could. Laurel control, of course we work with the catch basins, culverts, ditches, any water pool areas and such. We applied adulticide 23 nights during this report period. During this report period, 2,114.8 spray miles, 76,899.7 acres. Were treated with 50.1 gallons of Delta Guard. This is a more expensive new product out, safe product, because we do get a little, I was thinking maybe we're getting a little bit of resistance, and then our population was trying to grow on us with these mosquitoes, so we brought this in to try to help knock them back, because in all actuality, we helped this company do this test trial. If y'all remember me talking about this before, I was telling you I had something good coming, but it's very expensive. This stuff gets a definite 90% kill, without a question. So, I brought that in, and it was noticeable when I started using it, and we was able to reduce them to a point there. In addition, grant applications, we had 2 aerial applications, August 11th, August 31st. I had one prior to that also. Then we sprayed the control 3167 across the city. So we had 29 service request calls. We actually had people start calling. These service requests are a big deal to me, because when these folks call, it's kind of like when you made me aware of your problem. This is good information, because we do an on-site inspection and we look around, see if there's something adjacent to the area or whatever, and find out what, there's usually some sort of extra problem. Most of the time, you search it out and find it, and you stay on top of it. We got it in our notes, and we're on top of it each time then. So those service requests are a big deal. More people are starting to call for these service requests, which is actually a good thing. And that pretty well sums it up. If you look through there, you've got a graph you can look at, and of course you got some maps and stuff, and there's a couple aerial application maps in your report.
look through it or whatever, if you have any questions, but anyway, I'm willing to answer any questions right now.
I wanted to ask you about, I did the last time too, the Zika virus.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I now understand, I don't know exactly where I heard it, if it was on the news or
Okay.
what, but there were some in Arkansas.
That is correct, they are imported cases, they are
Right.
being, it's not mosquito transmitted.
They're people that have traveled.
What we have to worry about, yes ma'am, and that's where most of them was, we, at one point, we're 1,300 and something cases, I think, across the US that's been imported.
Right.
Until recently, 3 or 4 weeks ago, in Miami and Florida, we have mosquito transmitted Zika virus in the US.
I just didn't know if there was a way that you all track that.
We do
because
track that, we
I'd
stay
rather
on
be
top.
proactive than oops, it's
Absolutely,
here.
yes ma'am, and we are very proactive with that, and we are on top of that. I keep up with it regularly
Mhm.
and see what's going on, because it's kind of increasing.
Right.
We're getting so many imported cases. Well, you have 2 mosquitoes, mainly one, the Aedes aegypti, that is the transmitter of this Zika virus. Of course, it's sexually transmitted also. Most of the time that state, is between the spouses, because one went off, or they both went off and one got it, they come home, whatever, that's imported. The Aedes aegypti, we have very few of those here in this area. We do have few. It's the main carrier. Now, the Aedes albopictus is suspected, and it very well can become a carrier. We do have some of those. Those are the type mosquitoes that are disease-type mosquitoes, the Aedes albopictus. You can end up with encephalitis and different things too, kind of like the Culex mosquito and such.
Does it require a different type of chemical to?
When you're fighting the Zika virus, the only way you can fight it is door to door. Well, not the only way, but the way we're operating in the Virgin Islands right now in St. Thomas, they have it really bad there, and we're having to do on-site inspections and just door to door to door to door.
Because I've heard that that's as dangerous.
Yes,
in some
ma'am. Actually, my
instances.
son's in St. Thomas, and I'm scared to death. Because it's pretty bad down there right now. They have several pregnancy problems.
Yeah, but that the chemicals can be dangerous.
Now, we use permethrin products. Depending on, you use certain products are corrosive and different things. Now, the permethrin products, you find that in your hair, line shampoos, things like that. You'll find it in numerous things. Of course, you find it in spray cans in Walmart for, to spray on you and such. That's not so much, but it's like anything. Like salt, for instance, will kill you quicker than any chemical we use. If you put enough salt in your body, it'll kill you a whole lot quicker. But it's like anything, your body can only take so much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be careful with any of it, So it
I
can be
appreciate it.
dangerous, yes.
Okay.
You haven't caught any Egyptites,
Near. But not here yet, near. Just south, about 30 miles.
Yeah, it's good, that's why I went.
Just a few, every once in a while.
Yeah.
You get, a few, but we will stay on top of that. The deal is with that, the good thing about that is, no more than we have here. If any at times, those are very, they're not abundant. We can do like the Culex mosquitoes, for instance, we catch them in a rabbit trap. We know we got a problem. We want to